To start this review off by apologizing for taking so long with it, as I kind of lost track of this comic. This comic starts off with Superman narrating about Amazo's origin and history in the DCAU. We then cut to Amazo back in the walls of reality, after smashing them, looking at the reflections of different worlds, including a Superwoman in Calvin Ellis. Although this character who looks like Calvin Ellis might actually be Superman of Earth D, who will appear in the next issue. Either way, the character looks like Calvin Ellis, as they have him doing the Calvin Ellis pose from that infamous cover. We then see, similar to how Overman is now at the Lois date, Superman is now in Overman's world, where he sees a group of racist Nazi turds rallying. Superman first thinks he's just somewhere across the country, but when a bunch of Brainiac robots come to attack him, after he shouted at the racist turds for being idiots, he puts two and two together that this is a different universe altogether. Main universe, Overman is just insulting Lois, yelling at him for answers where he is, before she shoots him with a kryptonite gun, which I know she explains as Superman gave to her just in case of an evil Kryptonian, but why did she bring it with her on this date? But the kryptonite gun has no effect on him, and he just flies off into the city. Lois hears something I think should have been a thought bubble instead of, saying it out loud, saying she should call the Justice League, which just something about that line felt weird. Like, why are you saying this out loud? We then see Marshall Mander back on the park bench as people around him start to appear and others disappear. As people are doing this all over the globe, it wasn't just Superman who stopped. And he decides that enough is enough and flies out into the sky, going back to Metropolis. He finds Overman fighting Wonder Woman, Hawkgirl, Vixen, Batman, Fire, and the other Justice League members. Well, he takes down most of them easily. Wonder Woman is the MVP, holding her own, but still struggling as she just smacked around, which I thought was a little unfair to Wonder Woman. This is when John comes in and mentally attacks him. He learns the story that his Lois betrayed him, so he killed her, which was the reason why he was so triggered by seeing this world's Lois. We then cut back to Superman vs. Brainiac, or just a Brainiac robot, which Superman defeats fairly easily, but before he does, he learns that Vandal Savage rules this world, which I believe is going to be a reference to the Justice League episode where a similar thing happened in an alternate timeline, which might be this timeline. I'm a bit confused. But then he's teleported to this world group of heroes, which consists of Zod, Natasha Irons as Metallo, and Emil Hamilton as Doomsday. And that's it. Overall, I liked it, although in my opinion, it's not as good as the first issue. The thing that set me off was Superman's narration of this issue, as he's talking over or about things he shouldn't know. While the last issue, it made sense that John knew what he was talking about. This issue was I was just spending half the time wondering, how does Superman know all this? How does he know Overman's origin? He shouldn't know that. I will say I really like the team of Zod, Metallo, and Doomsday, since a lot of them are Superman villains, but are different people. Well, Metallo and Doomsday are. Zod seems like to be the same Zod. But I don't buy that Overman could take down the whole Justice League. I'd argue that Wonder Woman could have held her own, rather than just getting tossed around. Even Green Lantern, I think, could have. I really like visiting the idea of the multiverse in the DCAU. And I know from the covers of upcoming issues, there's a lot more to come. I didn't dislike this comic in any capacity. I really liked it. But just some of the Superman stuff threw me off. Like, he somehow knew Amazo smashed the wall to reality. How did he know that? Did I miss something? Was there... I'm a bit confused if I missed something, because he seemingly knows a lot more than he should about what's going on. And I understand that his idea of that this might be another universe makes sense to me, because he's been to other ones in the shows. But how does he know that it's Amazo's fault? How does he know who Overman is? It's just very confusing. Either way, I really like this issue, even if I'm a bit confused about what's going on in it. Did you like it? Do you not like it? Leave all that in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.